Hello everyone, welcome to Topic of the Day. In this edition, we shall be discussing the International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Now, recently, the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, that is CDRI, in partnership with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, commenced the International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure 2022. The heads of state from CDRI member countries, including India, attended the conference. So, what is the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure? Well, India initiated the CDRI as a global partnership of 27 countries. India officially launched the CDRI at 2019 UN Climate Action Summit in New York. It is an international coalition of countries, the UN agencies, multilateral development banks, the private sector, and academic institutions. It aims to promote disaster-resilient infrastructure and it is headquartered in New Delhi. If we talk about the founding countries, India, Australia, Bhutan, Fiji, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Maldives, Mexico, Mongolia, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, and the United Kingdoms. That means 13 countries are the founding members of CDRI. The World Bank and the Green Climate Fund also supported the launch of this initiative. If we talk about the major focus on infrastructure, CDRI works on infrastructure and not disaster risk management in general. So CDRI is closely tracking the impact of heat waves and other extreme events on infrastructure systems. Recently, it launched a program to help small island states to develop resilience to climate crisis at the 2021 UN Climate Change Conference COP26 in Glasgow. Now, if we talk about the importance of CDRI, it complements the International Solar Alliance. It portrays India as leader for climate action and disaster resilience at the global level and also supports India's resilient missions abroad. It also acts as an alternative to the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative and provides opportunities for Indian infrastructure and technology firms to expand services. So why was there a need for disaster resilient infrastructure? For disaster risk reduction, that is SFDRR, highlights the role of improved disaster resilience of infrastructure for sustainable development. The SFDRR includes 4 specific targets related to loss reduction. The first one is reduce global disaster mortality. Then we have reducing the number of affected people. Thirdly, to reduce direct disaster economic loss and to reduce disaster damage to critical infrastructure. Now, Target 4 on infrastructure is an important prerequisite to achieving the other loss reduction targets set out in the framework. If we talk about the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015-2030, the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015-30 was adopted at the 3rd UN World Conference in Sendai, Japan on the 18th of March 2015. It applies to the risk of small-scale and large-scale, frequent and infrequent, sudden and slow onset disasters caused by natural or man-made hazards, as well as related environmental, technological, and biological hazards and risk. Now let us take up a practice question on this topic. The Sendai Framework is related to which of the following? A. Disaster risk reduction. B. Disarmament and nuclear non-proliferation. C. International illegal wildlife trade. And D. Curbing rise in the global temperature. You can write your answers in the comment section below. So as we know, the correct answer is A, that is Sendai Framework is related to the disaster risk reduction. Well, that's a wrap of today's edition of Topic of the Day. We'll see you with more such videos. Till then, take care and do stay tuned.